Hi there, welcome to Wyckoff technical analysis session for Onycoin. If you're new to my sessions, here are the 3 key takeaways you can expect. So let's start with the weekly chart of XCN. Last week we already asked the question, is it near the end of distribution for XCN? It looks like from this point, while the this week's candlestick is crossing this yellow dashed line, that's extended from the previous preliminary support period, it looks like it's really getting into the accumulation zone. So compared to what happened back in 2023, that's the point where it officially got into the very first leg towards the selling climax. So it happened in June 2023. Currently, we are still higher, much higher than that point. So we may not have seen the selling climax yet. So this is still pending. After the selling climax, the automatic rally should happen. That's where it happened back in December 2023. So it may take a while before that happened. All right, so it took quite a horizontal trading period for a couple of months before that rally eventually happened. Or you can count this little white candlestick, but to me that looks more makes more sense when looking at the chart. So the big picture is, if this downtrend keeps going, selling climax will eventually reveal itself. Whether it will bounce off from one of these levels, those dashed line intermediate levels, or the key level of 0.003, whether it's going to take a pause, like if it goes down, there may be some white candles or crosses, much like what happened over here on the left hand side, and then eventually show a selling climax. It may not reach the point of 2023, or it may hit a point that goes even lower. It's too early to tell. So let's look at the daily chart and see whether there are any particular timings that there will be potential breakout opportunities. This blue box that's sloping towards the lower right hand side is the downtrend that started since mid-July. So from then onwards, the price has been bouncing off between the boundaries of this downtrend, and this selling climax over here is different from the one in the weekly. As of now, while this downtrend is continuing, it's difficult to say where the lower test level would be. So while assuming that this is the preliminary support period right across here, where we had a couple of LPSYs, all right, this drop around the beginning of this month, just a week or so ago, if I consider that a selling climax, now is coming down for a second test, which is somewhere very close to where we had that selling climax. All right, this may not be the end of it, because subsequent tests or even the spring can get even lower than this point. So if this trade horizontally, or if it drops further to the next yellow dash line and trade horizontally, you see there are 4 triangles over here. So if we look at the ceiling of the downtrend, it's cutting across 4 levels, 3 intermediate levels, and this red key level of 0.03 cents, so 0.003. So sometimes it's my brain has to process a while how to tell you that number. Is it 0.003 easier, or is it 0.03 cent easier? So because I know when you hear about the number, you would be wondering, nowadays we very seldom touch on the cent. If I say 0.03 cent, I'm guessing everybody have to think for like a second or two what that actually means. So here, this the first cross is around Christmas. Second, close to mid-January. The second, the third week of Jan. And finally, the red key level is the end of Jan or beginning of Feb. So depending on where the price goes or how low this time it goes, and when we get closer and closer to the right-hand side, the ceiling of the trend, those are the occasions or dates that the potential breakout would happen. When I say breakout, it doesn't mean like only breaking to this side. If it breaks a support, it basically confirms that the trend is going to continue. If it breaks the ceiling, that means the trend is over and a new trend will show up. So that's the difference between the two. Okay, so breaking the support is not a surprise because this downtrend has been there for 4 months already. Breaking to the right-hand side, however, means something that in this scenario, something that's more optimistic. We may be out of the downtrend, for like probably a longer time if it really breaks this ceiling. So it may trade horizontal, not necessarily going straight up immediately. Look at what happened over here. After the downtrend, it traded horizontal for about half the year before there are some positive signals, but then after that, almost another half a year horizontally before the final pump happened. Alright, so things can happen in such a way, and it's not something quick, unfortunately, a lot of times, especially when we get to this point where it seems like it is getting into the bigger accumulation cycle. Alright, so while the entire market crypto market is going through something that's pretty pessimistic right now, a piece of Red Sea, I'm here to share with you my views and at to which stage that possibly XCN is at. So to get you prepared, yeah. Trade safe, and if you're trying to buy the dip, always remember to consider your risk appetite. Don't get overexcited if there's like a mini rebound because things may not be over yet. So see you